before that shrine opens. Then Probius have that power spike onto killing those minions. He's actually super fast with those cannons and warps. Maybe we'll see one more Probius today.
I hope so. This has definitely been my most successful Probius map by far, just because you're forced around this zone for a long time, kind of everybody is. He's not a solo Shriner like Sonya or Diablo, although he can kind of sort of function as one in solo queue, but yeah, he definitely does offer a lot of zone control. And we'll see. I mean, I'm not sold on the idea yet, but it worked on Sky Temple. I like him much more as that solo laner on larger maps. So instead of the Zeratul toss away here for Miracle, they're going to do Arthas. That's going to allow them the Kerrigan pick up here.
No cheerleader Kerrigan yet, but
nope.
We'll see the cheerleader one very soon.
Very soon. Pretty hyped about it, to be honest.
2.0. It's coming.
That's when Raynor can always, you know, Raynor and Kerrigan are in love, spoiler alert, but that's when Raynor can finally be with the cheerleader he always wanted to in high school. Because like in high school, like Raynor was also just playing like the RTS that existed before StarCraft in his universe, and you know he was the nerd, but he never get the cheerleader. But now, thanks to the power of skins in Heroes 2.0,
oh yeah,
he can get,
I'm liking
he can get that cheerleader.
Here comes Zarya for No Chat. Hopefully, we'll see better plays from No Chat instead of that false step from game number 1. And it's the pick onto Vala Ariel.
This is getting too meta for me. So the Zarya pick obviously is going to work decently well with Ragnaros, but it's more of a denial pick for the Kerrigan. Then you have the Vala, so they can't have the Vala and Zarya. So both of these drafts are going deep, but I feel like the advantage goes to Miracle because they have Kerrigan, the top tier solo Shriner, melee hero that does so well on this map because of the resets on the Q. Then you have Vala and Ariel together. And even looking at the Falstad ban here for BlossoM feels like a bit of a weird choice because, you know, we don't really see too much Falstad paired with Vala anyways, on top of the fact that this isn't his best map in terms of global presence. And they already have range damage. Not that they're going to necessarily solo Vala here. It just feels gimmicky. And now perhaps Miracle just, you know, thinks about what possible hero do they run here. Is it going to be the melee? Do they just ban the Li Ming? If we didn't have the Zarya, that's definitely what they'd be doing with the Vala on their side and the Falstad banned already.
I feel like Falstad ban is a little bit of a throwaway when they already have what we said, the double queens, Vala and Kerrigan with Ariel on having the crown on their head.
Yeah, you and I talked about that before. And
if I remember correctly, that I believe Mighty was playing it and then they lost the game, but this is Miracle playing on Kerrigan and Vala. So BlossoM's gonna have the hard time fighting against both Kerrigan and Vala.
At a time, you know, and I always have to make this reference, and it's still true, and the history cannot be rewritten. Oh, wow. Okay.
My goodness!
I didn't see this one coming. I just want to say this really quick before we talk about the exciting hype Cho'Gall pick. Dami was once the best Kerrigan in the world, and was more consistent than Rich on the hero. But we're going into a totally different world now.
Now can we be hyped about Cho'Gall?
Yes, now I can be hyped about Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall recently changed quite a bit, but
got lots of buffs. Been consistently getting buffs.
And this important thing is Gall's damage buffs. Obviously, some changes to how often he can use his Q, for example, because the scaling is much higher now. I was wondering if we were going to see this. You and I were talking about it before the broadcast, and you were leaning towards like maybe, and I was like, I don't think so ever. But there's a lot of different ways to deal with Cho'Gall in terms of giant killer heroes.
So they're going all in Cho'Gall with that shielding, and Ragnaros pops onto that Molten Core. Could work.
I mean, you can pull everybody in and then drop down the Sulfuras Smash. Kerrigan's stuns, every stun against Cho'Gall counts as 2 stuns because you're removing 2 heroes from the battle. You lock him down, so you've got the ability to detainment strike him. You've got Kerrigan stuns beyond this. There's the ETC pick. It's a big lockdown, a big stun. Karzim is taken here. So realistically, it's Gall for the mage. Cho's your tank. You have Ragnaros for Molten Core, his ability to help clear the shrine. Zarya is going to protect. And Karzim you have to imagine in this scenario is going to be using the Palm to keep him alive with that percentage base heal. Look, anything could happen here. I don't want to even be critical or judge this Cho'Gall pick. I just want to watch it happen because it's going to be the first time we've seen it in a pro match since his rework, since his recent buffing. So let's jump into game number 2 to see if BlossoM, with this unusual pick, can tie us up 1-1. In blue, BlossoM, Scarlet on Kharazim, Dudu on, I imagine, probably Gall, Wiz on Ragnaros, Judy on Cho, and no chat on Zarya.
MVP Miracle in red, Honkono on ETC, Dami on Kerrigan, Sniper on Tychus, Crazy Moving on Vala, and Darvish on Ariel.
Here we go.
Okay.
Cho'Gall already, Probius Cho'Gall. Murky, day 1. Welcome to HGC Korea.
I love it. I love it, but one thing I do not love so much is that when I said the Falstad is kind of a throwaway ban, if they knew that they were going to pick Cho'Gall, they should have banned Tychus before instead of Falstad here. Even if they have shields and all the support from Kharazim coming out, I don't think that's going to be enough against Tychus, though Tychus did get a lot of damage from that fight.
Yeah, although I think the exchange was absolutely BlossoM favored. The cool thing about how Gall works is that he just has consistent damage no matter what. That's why he always tops damage charts, because he doesn't have mana. He's based on cooldowns, and he just spams abilities out. He will clear waves, he can poke towers, he can just chunk people down, he can steal skeletal defenders on the shrine. And he's, you know, decent wave clear. So you have this insanely free mage that's also a tank and also has CC. Just on paper, Cho'Gall as a combination is strong. The weakness is that they're joined at the feet. They can't positionally move independent of each other, and every stun counts double against them. Every damage spell that's percentage-based works double against them. And that's basically the bottom line of Cho'Gall as a hero.
I talked to the Koreancaster King a lot about all the heroes all the time, at least for a few hours a week, and basically we had some questions. Why is Cho'Gall never picked in HCKR? And this is the first one of the year.
Yes.
Because Cho'Gall has hard counters, and number 1 is Tychus. That's why I said should have banned Tychus in the second banning phase.
And you have other counters like the Giant Killer I was talking about before and things of that nature. A lot of people used to consider Kharazim's 7-side strike also somewhat of a counter, although I feel like this is a bit of an exaggeration. But still, I mean, yeah, when you think about it, the CC and the damage-based damage that you could do to him feels like very gimmicky. As we see, this first shrine is already controlled by Miracle. They're not going to really mess around with this. They're going to take control and step on already. As you can see, Cho'Gall is trying to poke down from the side, but they're significantly behind in terms of these defenders, and Darvish is just continuing to spam out his heals and make sure everyone is topped up all the time. Cho'Gall going super deep away from the fight, which means Wiz goes down. Should not have been there for Detainment Strike. Is a double stun here onto Cho'Gall. Now they're going to win this fight with a kill, and an easy one-sided Frozen Punisher is just going to come straight out here. And already this is not working out the way BlossoM wanted it to.
I'm afraid that this may be the first, and this will keep on going for MVP Miracle's side. And of course, the bigger they are is the talent that you should go for. The bigger Cho'Gall is, you do a lot more damage when they have more.
He is the biggest. Look at him. He carries his mount. He carries his mount.
It looks funny every single time I see it.
That's the BlizzCon mount, man. I want to say 2015, that's the one. Pretty sick. Nexus Charger. I use it a lot. But I normally use the, you know, the champion of HGC. Okay, Honkono going to go in for the slide here. Sniper is just, look at this. Yep. 1v1. 1v1. Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, in terms of 1v1 for this, like, he just dominates. Crazy Moving almost nearly secures the kill there. And they just walk casually, mind you, casually walk in steal these Impalers, where we're going to hit over the wall here to knock down this healing fountain. So big benefit here for Miracle. Tommy's just farming, meanwhile, casually. This is a casual game, not a pro game. Cho'Gall's, I'm being facetious, but
yeah, of course, MVP Miracle, but
if you don't have the Tychus, on the other hand, if you don't have this massive amount of CC, I can look at the Cho'Gall and say, well, this is interesting. Perhaps this works. Let's learn something about it. And even when we went into this draft, you and I both knew the Tychus was going to be a pretty strong counter, but we just said, let's look at this, let's see how this works, let's not be critical. But with the mechanical play that we know from MVP Miracle, so far this has been just a dominating game in their favor.
Yep, all you have to do is press that big D button with the minigun and just chunk down Cho'Gall's HP. When he's even tanking now, but even more tankier later on, which means even more damage coming out from Tychus' minigun as a percent damage.
I think the way this is going to have to work for BlossoM is going to be CC based later on. Maybe they even go 7-sided strike.
With that Molten Core popped at the same time, they can try to go for the same target, as Ariel may not be able to heal multiple targets at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that's my theory crafting here. I'll see if it works out in practice or if they even, end up going that route. Look at Scarlet's positioning here. He's kind of trying to swing around right now as Dami just dominates these Skeletal Defenders, no pun intended. Honkono's looking for the route here onto Cho'Gall to get that extra damage on. This is what I'm talking about. Stun goes down, isolates Cho'Gall. Look at all the damage being put on. However, he survives here. Scarlet's the one who's low.
Very low, and Wish trying to do some damage, but she should already be in Molten Core form, not in the front line here.
When you watch this, it almost just doesn't feel realistic, this composition. As they just win the fight once more. The isolation, Honkono's positioning, he just walks in. There's not a lot of poke besides Gall. Gall's poke is not burst, it's sustained poke. Yep. So Honkono is very free to walk in. The crown's on crazy moving, so there's constant healing.
And gets cancelled there, and Wiz jumped on from the Punisher, even gets stunned. Oh man.
But there's constant healing for Honkono to walk in, get that double stun, get the isolation. There's the Dami stun. We see this once more. This time Dami with the stun first, then the power slide in. And there's the mosh pit committed in the fight, and they're actually going to catch every member. Wiz, just goes mid to see what he can do, but he can't do much here. He's trying to soak for 10, as this looks like it's going to be another quick game here, even quicker. Potentially, if they go all the way with this Punisher is on top of this keep. It's the Arcane Punisher as well. Everyone's respawned here, but they don't have heroics. Odin's available, Aegis available, and they're just going to commit.
Molten Core did get cancelled, but is available, but needs to come home right now. No check gets burst down from the Punisher alone, gets about 60% HP down. Wiz trying to save his team, but this core keeps on getting lower, 50%.
Okay, he's just going to go. They're just going to go ahead and commit to this. There's no way that Miracle can be stopped here. They just target it down, and that is GG.
7 minutes, 26 seconds.
The
last one was 8 minutes something seconds.
Dami just laughs as this was a